This is the Tree of Life, Season 22, Chapter 7. In this episode, we will be talking about the digital structures which form on the boundary of time parsimony in light of the last episode. To start out, in the last episode, we talked about how the boundary around the bubble universe, created by infinite recursion, is represented by the digital structures created through each descending negated convoluted path. That is, in infinite recursion pursuant to an uninterrupted substitution event, the bubble universe forms through the transformation of a potentially infinite number of analog structures to their digital counterparts. These digital structures form at the boundary of the resulting space. In much earlier episodes, we talked about how our attention flows between reverse substitution events and substitution events as structures transform from digital to analog and back again. The idea was that digital representations either create self-consciousness with respect to a bodily rhythm or impulse in negation, or they are referentially self-conscious in negation with respect to focusing on that representation. In Season 21, Chapter 7, we talked about these digital representations as an exclusive set. The idea was that in preference shifting, or pivoting, between sets, there is a reverse substitution event followed by a substitution event. As an exclusive structure representing a given set is replaced by a substitutionary structure, before transitioning back to a digital structure with the new set. Now, in reverse substitution, we also talked about how these events describe negation with respect to the attention being fixed self-consciously on a bodily rhythm or cycle. The idea was that in the shifting of the attention back to a rhythm, there is self-consciousness, which reflects the transformation of a digital structure to an analog one. Thus, there are two processes here occurring in tandem with respect to preference shifting. Since we can say that the creation of analog structures from digital ones occurs in the process of shifting sets corresponding to separate preferences, we can see that the substitutionary impulses within these analog structures may be either induced contextually through digital media or otherwise. In the case of digital media, this means that when our attention catches on some object, say on a phone or laptop, while scrolling through a given set of options, resulting in self-consciousness, we are seeing this preference shifting occurring in real time. This means, for example, that the specific sets corresponding to this shifting preference may be entirely within the control of algorithm. But that is not the end of the story. For what we see is that the character of the digital structures that get transformed into analog ones, and the very specific substitutionary impulses in the subsequent arrangement, will reflect the causal reordering represented by time parsimony, because they flow through the boundary of our particular bubble. In other words, the specific digital content which causes self-consciousness will reflect a boundary correlation to a digital structure within the exterior universe beyond the boundary. This content is thus triggering because it betrays all of the convoluted paths described by time parsimony and the universe beyond the boundary. Thus, these algorithms describe the looser form of interaction described in Season 22, Chapter 3. In that case, since we are talking about sequential substitution events, reverse then simpliciter, in preference shifting, non-integration leads to acquiescence caused by the incoming consciousness in interaction with the outgoing consciousness within a path erased within the bubble universe, path parsimony. Thus, we see that these gaps, represented by shifts in our preference, describe the manner by which infinite recursion is limited within the bubble universe from outside of it, beyond the limit of time parsimony. That's the end of the podcast for today.